What's up, guys? Welcome to our special edition of Jam Movies on Christmas, and a Merry Christmas to you. And today we're talking about a Christmas classic, The Grinch. So this movie actually is a lot of nostalgia for me, not just because of a Christmas movie. I remember because I was obsessed with Jim Carrey when I was growing up. Anything he starred in, I wanted to see. And I remember when they announced him as the Grinch, and the Grinch was one of my favorite Christmas specials of all time. When we used to get the newspaper in, I was literally cutting out the newspaper clippings of the movie posters of, Jim Carrey's the Grinch, whatever. And then when it came out in my area, it was sold out everywhere. So, and I remember my mom promising to take me. So there's my dad, because he drove at the time, and he's driving around looking for a theater that's open because I'm ticked off that, I can't see it. Finally, we found one at a local theater that still had tickets, and I left the theater not disappointed at all.
It was good.
Beautiful movie. We know that, absolute classic. But let's talk about that budget.
The budget was 123 million, and it grossed, I believe, 345 million, which wasn't bad at all.
No, not at all.
I think it was a really big budget, but they spent it all on like makeup effects and whatnot. Yep, the location was the studio, most of it, but they took a lot of detail into consideration with the lights and whatnot, the vehicles and so forth. But what do you think about the budget?
You know what? Like, there's a lot of detail put into this movie, especially like if you're talking about a Dr. Seuss based movie. There's a lot of Dr. Seuss elements throughout, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's a little thing that I guess they left a little too much geared towards kids, but then again, I watch this every year. I'm sure you do as well. Mm-hmm. And never once do I ever go, this is too cheesy, this is too kiddish, this is too, low budget, right? They placed the budget very well. Ron Howard definitely had a vision for what he wanted to create for this, extended version of the Grinch, right? Mm-hmm. And what did you think of Ron Howard's direction? And I want to bring up the fact that obviously there's more filler in this version of the Grinch because he had to stretch the story. So how do you think he did with that?
I think it was good. He made it more not acceptable, but more fun for adults. Like, he put little things in there, like the one scene when the Grinch was a baby, everyone was throwing their keys in a jar.
Yeah, the swinger party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which I didn't understand until I got older. But
yeah, me too. Yeah. And small things like that they would be doing a little bit adult humor, which made it more entertaining for adults, and is why it's still so good till this day, I believe. But yeah, I like the way he did the Grinch, and I can't complain.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ron Howard did a great job, and this is where I want to dive into, obviously, the biggest asset of the movie, which was Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I actually heard his suit that he wore, they actually had to get him I think it was like a CIA operative or special forces, somebody that was trained to handle torture, interrogation, because of how bad this suit itched and felt, and how sick it made him feel, and he just kept telling himself, it's for the children, we got to get through it for the children. So, and we're glad he did, right? I mean, Nobody could have played that role better. We're talking about the rubber man, stretch his face any which way he wants, and that Grinch grin, unmatched.
Yeah, I agree.
What did you think of Jim Carrey's performance?
Outstanding. His humor, his little, like you said, the way he stretches his face, and he just, I don't know, I like his comedy. It was just gold for the Grinch, especially for children as well. So I think he was the perfect Grinch. I have no complaints.
No, and I don't think, like, I hope, years down the road, they don't try to reboot this and hope that they can find another Grinch like Jim Carrey. You can't. I mean, this was like you said, the perfect man for the job. And I mean, that's partly why I think it's so enjoyable every year because Jim Carrey doesn't really get he grows on you throughout the years. You want to show your kids, and hopefully they show their kids, and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Like he's a well-rounded actor that the entire family can enjoy him. So yeah, and I'm still a big Jim Carrey fan. I actually can't wait for the new Sonic movie. I take the kids to watch every time they come out in theaters, right? So that should be fun. But favorite scene of the movie, because when we talked about this earlier, I actually had a few that I was trying to narrow down, and I figured out one. But before we get into mine, what was your favorite scene?
Okay, so my favorite scene would have to be when Cindy Lou goes and finally meets the Grinch for the first time in the mailing office, and she gets startled by him. He gets scared by her, acts all scary. She falls in, and then that's when you start seeing the Grinch is not as evil as people think he is. And it was just the suit, the way the atmosphere. I just liked it all. I have nothing to complain about it. I really like this the facial effects and stuff like that. They did amazing. That's why I guess why they got the Oscar for makeup.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember you telling me that. That's definitely a great scene.
What's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene always is actually so there was one day I was taking a nap on the couch, and my daughter had it on, and I told her to wake me up to a specific part because I don't like missing it. And it was when he sings, the You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, or whatever. Just the way that they kind of changed up the song, and he's building the sled. And because I always, the best aspect I always thought of the Grinch was when he was stealing Christmas. Mm-hmm. So that song, but then I would have to say leading up to that whole, act of him stealing Christmas. I really enjoyed that. So I would say in between those two areas, bottom line is the movie all around is a great film. Great. Yeah. So with that being said, I mean, the ending of the movie, do you think it was a satisfying ending? Did you like the little kind of like, I guess, different take they took on the ending a little bit? It wasn't too, it was mild.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I prefer the animated version more. I like Jim Carrey's acting, but I still enjoyed it just as much as the animated one. I don't know. I would say for me it's the same. It has the same ending. Like nothing too special. But what do you feel about the ending?
No, I think it was a satisfying ending. I think it was as close as we could get to a live action ending of the Grinch, right? Without touching too many. They threw in like the jokes at the end. Obviously Jim Carrey's character was
different.
Yeah, it was different than the cartoon version. I hear what you're saying. The cartoon's a classic, right? Yeah. Then we're talking about the original, not the Illumination remake, which is okay, but between these two, obviously it's better. But the Jammeter, what would you give this movie on the Jammeter? How full is that jar?
75%, I would say. I liked it a lot.
75?
Yeah. I'd still rate it higher than the animated version. I do like the animated version a lot, but Jim Carrey's acting is what, to me, makes the movie just super complete as a whole. And it's great for family time, great for kids, great during the holiday season every year. You can't get tired of it, just like Home Alone. So, 75 I think is a great rating for it. What do you rate it?
You know what? My jar is going to stay the same as yours.
Yeah.
It's 75%. It's not a perfect movie. There's flaws that you can notice throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say it's, bad that it's a guilty pleasure. It's an enjoyable holiday flick that I can enjoy every year. And I have since the first copy I had was on VHS. Mm-hmm. Right, I came in a little green shell casing and everything too. Mm-hmm. I remember that. Every year I'll continue to watch it. I'll continue to enjoy it, and great film. I enjoyed watching it again and discussing this with you. And thanks for watching, guys, on our Christmas edition on Jam Movies of our discussion of the Grinch. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for jamming out with us. Merry Christmas, everybody.